Kapila, you were talking about a person, a Jivatma inside a mortal body. But how is this Jivatma inside a mortal body coming into shape? That is when Kapilacharya talks about how a child is born. He tells that from one sperm of the father and the ovum of the mother, this sperm fertilizes the ovum. Now you get a blastocyst. Those of you who have studied medical science, correct me if I am wrong. This has been mentioned in the shlokam. Not at blastocyst. He tells it will be like a bubble. When you take sea water and pour it from the top, you get bubbles. It will be in that shape, it seems. Then that bubble develops into a small plum in 10 days. All this is there in Bhagavatam. I am not giving from any medical science journal. And I don't know if it is right. I am just telling you what Kapilacharya has said. You check if it is right. Then he says, then it becomes a flesh ball. Then the head is formed at the end of first month. Then he tells the hands, the feet and the other limbs are formed at the end of second month. At the end of the third month, the nails, the hair, the bones, the skin, the organs, the generative organs come into picture. Then 7 ingredients come at the end of fourth month, which is blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow, semen and chyle. So in terms of a girl, it will be the uterus. Then hunger, you will be surprised. When a girl is born, the first few days, she will also secrete a few drops of blood to indicate about her fourth month of gestation. Next, at the end of the 5th month, there is the hunger and thirst felt. Then in the 6th month, the fetus absolves itself into the amniotic fluid, which is inside the chorion and placenta. Next, you have got, then from the 6th month, the child starts experiencing the taste of the food what the mother has. This has been mentioned by Kapilacharya. I still don't know medically it is correct or wrong. Next, then whatever the mother tastes, a part of the taste is felt by the child. Then he says the head is turned down. Then the fetus beyond the 7th month cannot move freely because there is very little space. Then in the 7th month, the child expects some sound. That is when our Shastram tells you start playing the veena. On the day of Simantanonayanam, before the veena is played, they will say Mangalavadyam. That time you play veena. We generally play Sri Ragam. Because we say Sri Ragam is identifiable to the child as per musical science, Nadopasanam. You play. But there is one Vedic mantram which the Vedic science assigns. As per that Vedic mantram, you have to say from which river bank you are playing. If you have listened to this mantram, the mantram states Yamuna Tire E. This is the mantram. But if you are in Bangalore, you are not in the banks of river Yamuna. So what do? You have to replace that. Kaveri Tire E. You have to add the closest river. In Chennai, Kuvam you can add because it is a very good river till it reaches Chennai from Paruthipattu. So you can say Kuvam. If you are quite skeptical about it, then you can use Payaswini Tire E. What is Payaswini? Palar. Palar is called Payaswini. So Bhagavatam mentions Kvachit Kvachin Mahabhaga Dramideshu cha Bhurishaha Tamraparni Nadiyatra Kritamala Payaswini. Tamraparni is Tirunelveli Tamraparni. Kritamala, we have heard only Vaijayanti Mala, sir. Who is this Kritamala? Kritamala is Vaigai. Kritamala Payaswini Palar. Mahabhaga. What is Mahabhaga? Periyar. Yep. I am talking about the river. So Periyar in Kerala is Mahabhaga. So these are all rivers mentioned in Bhagavatam. In fact, if you go to Tirtha Yatra of Mahabharatam, you will find many rivers. You will say, where are these rivers? Because half the rivers have vanished. Now we are rallying for rivers. So where do we go for rivers? So most of the rivers have vanished. So we have to say, in the 7th month, the child can understand. That is when we have to have bangles, because that sound can be traceable to the child. But as per Shastram, you cannot use any other metal except gold and silver. No glass. What do we do now, sir? We get color glass, sir. What do we do? This is what Shastram tells. Next. Now, after the 7th month Seemantonayanam is over, there are 2 more months left for the 3rd trimester to get over. That is when the child puts its palms together. If you see the shape of the child, the head will be bent down, the knees would have come up, then the hands will be like this. Shastram tells at that point in time after the 7th month, the child gets remembrances of all its previous births. At that 2 months time. So that is when Alvar tells, Karuvarangathu utkidandhen kai toluden kanden. At that point in time, the Lord will give a glimpse to the child inside the womb. So we have all blessed one day in the 8th month, 9th month. There it has stopped. Now we will have remembrances of all our previous births. We will be happy. Good or bad, at least we remember. See, when you remember, you will at least be happy. Then the 9th month comes, you pull the child out. And when the child is born itself, it is born upside down. The head comes first. So, when the head comes first, the head portion is very soft. That times there is a small component in the air called shatam which goes and attacks the child. And that shatam makes the child forget what all it has remembered. And the child out of that pain starts crying that I have forgotten, and we are all very happy. Child has cried. Until it cries, we will not leave that child. How dare that the child remember good things? Only if it cries, it will forget. So the child is. So this has been mentioned in Bhagavatam. Now you tell me if Bhagavatam is a science or some arbitrary poem. So we need to understand how much our rishis have dwelled into the fetus and gone so much inside. India is no a normal or a subnormal country. It is a super special country. Maybe our roads are not good. Maybe our atmosphere is not that clean. Maybe we are chopping off our trees. Maybe we are not taking care of nature. All these flaws could exist, but something which is unquestionable, unparalleled, and peerless is our literature. Nothing can even get closer to our literature. That is why we say it is a way of life. Because every part of our life has been described by our Puranam. No scripture in this world can get this close. I am not trying to denigrate the other scriptures. Please don't get me wrong. I am trying to tell you how much our rishis have worked hard for us. Here we have the mother. Then the mother was flabbergasted. She was now thinking, did this great son stay inside my womb? He knows so much. I fall at your feet because you are the Lord to me, she said, and she attained moksham. So Devahuti attained